Hey, happy holiday, Salute Trade Game team. This is the first video back from the holiday. I know I haven't posted in a little while. I had a family problem that pretty much financially ruined me, wiped me out, but I'll be okay. I ain't come here to cry about that. You know, I'm transparent. I'll tell the truth because everybody like to act like everything is peaches and rainbows, and it ain't. And honestly, it was so severe that I had to just go take a vacation, man. I had to go spend some time at a friend's, and I just went away for a while just to get a break because I was working hard and I was burning myself out. A lot of trading. The market has started getting a little bit choppy. It got bad actually for like a week. I was still trading it, but every dollar I was making was going towards this issue. I'll talk about that later, but not right now, because if I talk about it now, I'm gonna still get hot because I came back to New York. I came back home, and you know, if I talk about it, I'm gonna get mad because I'm still looking at the issue. Anyway, matter of fact, I'm sitting right now waiting to put my car in the shop, so I'll probably have to get a rental car or some shit like that. But anyway, I digress. Life happens. Plus, right where I'm at, it looks like I'm gonna get hit, so maybe it's good that I'm recording because they keep turning this corner like they want to hit the car. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the topic. I already went a minute of talking without even talking about the topic. Today's topic is going to be talking about, should you use your credit to fund your Forex dreams? Because I actually saw a video about this when I was learning to trade, and somebody asked me this. A couple people personally who I know who think they smart asked me about this, and I know they talking about the same video from the same YouTuber. I ain't even gonna say his name because I don't think the video was necessarily malicious, but it was definitely some bad advice in there. Financially, in my opinion. Now, but neither one of us are financial advisors. Of course, I'm gonna put the disclaimer out that I'm not a financial advisor, so this is just entertainment and this is just a spark, food for thought. This is not me telling you what to do. I'm just gonna give you my opinion and what I would do if I had credit and I was trying to do Forex. Now, there's a couple conditions where this may be good for you, and there's quite a few where it may not be good for you. I'm gonna explain both, and I'm going to tell you when I think you may want to consider this idea and when you just shouldn't even be thinking about it. If you already know how to trade and you have good credit, then taking some of your credit and putting it towards a funded account, some education, some software, or just straight up and down putting it in your account to trade it may not be a bad idea. It may not be a bad idea. I mean, because at the end of the day, if you know how to trade, you can flip that money and put it back. That's the only time it's a good idea. So we're gonna talk about the times that it's not a bright idea. Okay, so some of my friends who asked me this, I know they asked me because they know I kind of I knock on YouTube, and you know, I'm telling people a lot to be careful with the YouTube stuff, the antics and the semantics and the crap on YouTube. And they just want to kind of like they not talking about the same video. But anyway, there's a video where somebody says you should use your credit to fund your account, and even that video I kind of understand what the person was saying, but then again, it's one of those things where they kind of didn't break it down. So I'm going to break it down in my videos. My videos be a little bit longer. If you are trying to learn to trade Forex, the only thing you should be spending that kind of money on is you should be spending that money on education, maybe mentorship, and maybe some tools. You know, not necessarily saying a robot from me. Maybe some tools, like you may see a indicator or something. Like, what do I mean by tools? Like a risk management tool or something like that. That's still considered software, but something like that, something to help you learn how to properly trade. Not a funded account, not you know, not something that you think is gonna make the money for you. Like, if you don't know how to trade and you put it in your account directly, let's say you put $1,000 worth of credit into your regular trading account, you trade it, you're gonna lose the money, so now you're gonna owe the $1,000 on top of the money you lost. So you're gonna feel doubly bad for one thing, and the mindset is so important. The second thing is, if you're gonna waste $1,000 like that, you could have just paid for a course and a mentor or some kind of program, or you could have got a couple indicators, a couple books, just something towards education, something that's gonna help you learn to trade. Indicators I'm gonna put in there because indicators are what taught me supply and demand. And that is very important to know key levels on the market. So there's nothing in the world more valuable than that. So the one thing you don't want to do that I saw somebody say, and I'm not going to say the name of the person because I don't think it was malicious, but it just wasn't good advice. If you do not know how to trade already, do not be putting your money into no funded account. Don't do it. Do not do it. And I say funded, I mean do not fund your own account with credit. Okay, you're just going to lose the money and owe it. At the end of the day, you're still going to owe it. That's going to be the main problem with that. So don't put your money in that. The second thing is you just don't want to waste it. You know, you want to put it to good use, because once you spend it, it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, you could put it in your account and take the money and put it back now, but once you pretty much spend it, it's gone. So you want to spend it on something that's going to bring you value. The best thing I could say is education is the only time you should think of using your credit. Now, I do have a video called Things You Need to Do Before You Quit Your Job. And one of the most important things you do need to do before you quit your job is get your credit up, because you're going to have uses for it. You know, you may have Forex over here. You may want to make a move and you don't have the cash, but you know you're going to get it from your trading. So you can use your credit to like invest in something and then use the Forex money to put the credit back, or vice versa. You could do something in Forex with credit and put the money back on the credit. So that's the whole point of already knowing how to trade. But if you do not already know how to trade, do not be coming out here using your credit cards to do things like, you know, and don't be buying nothing expensive either. Don't buy nothing too expensive if you're learning, unless it's going to show you what's something you need to make money, then you do it. You know, if it's education, a degree, a course, a class, and I use course loosely too, because courses are going to give you knowledge, but is it worth going in debt? No. I don't think there's a course out there worth, including mine. I don't think there's a course, and mine's is cheap, so it's not too bad, but I'm going to group it in just for the sake, because some of these courses cost thousands of dollars, these programs. I have not seen a course yet worth going into debt for, including mine. Now, of course, if you're going in debt for $199, there's a whole nother conversation to be had, but I'm going to include mine just for the sake of, if it's worth going in debt, no, there's no course out there I've seen. There's no mentorship I've seen worth going in debt. There's a couple indicators, yeah, but those are cheap. So once again, that's in the realm of, if you can't afford that and you can't get that without credit, then I don't know what to tell you. But overall, I'm not gonna make this video too long. I'm just gonna tell you that the only time that I see fit that you should be trying to even consider this conversation, for those that ask me, is when you already know how to trade. It just makes sense to take $100 cash and maybe throw a couple thousand credit. And I'm not telling you what numbers to use, because if you have good credit, you got that to spare. If you have that, then you could just use that. You can use that and you know, further your trading. And then if you know how to trade, of course, this is the number one thing I tell people. If you know how to trade, then you should be using your credit to get a couple of funded accounts. Because remember, if you get funded, you can you know, put the money right back. And now they have accelerated funded accounts, meaning my Forex funds has it where you could just give them $1,000 and they'll let you trade half of that with you know, no risk. If you pass, you know, if you lose half, then they take the whole thing from you. But if you know how to trade, there's a 50% chance that you can double the money. And all of this sounds like gambling, so that's why I don't really like talk about this too much on my channel. But you know, I just more focus on, do you know how to trade? The skill is the most important thing. If you have the skill, or you know the skill well enough to make money, then you can do these things. But if you don't have the skill yet, or you don't feel like your skill is up to par where if someone gives you $1,000, you can't flip it. And that word flip is another bad word. It's used very poorly on the internet. But if you cannot make money from the money that you have, then you don't want to be taking credit and putting it out there, because then you're just taking debt on top of losing money at that point. It just doesn't make sense. So hopefully this video will you know, help somebody out there who was thinking about this, because a couple people asked me this. So if a couple people asked me this, I felt like it was worth making a video, because this is personal people asking me. And some of you out there may be doing this or may not be doing this, but I'm pretty sure if you have done this, then you have input on this topic, and you should leave a comment, of course. Everybody who watched this, like, comment, and subscribe if you did. If not, dislike, of course. But you know, of course, the likes help the channel grow, and the subscribers help the channel grow. So if you want to see this channel grow, you already know what to do. So we're going into 2023. let's just keep it trading, and you know, let's just talk about what needs to be talked about. Okay, so that's it. So hopefully I answered that question. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing I missed. I'm pretty sure that we went over funded accounts, we went over mentors, we went over courses, we went over indicators. You can get indicators. I think that's a safe bet, as long as the indicator's not overpriced, or that, you know, you have access to the person who created it. A lot of y'all have to be careful with that. That's another warning. Do not be buying stuff if you don't know the source of the author, because if you buy it and don't know what's going on, guess what? You're at the mercy of the person who put you on to it, the group that told you about it, and then you got to go off the hearsay rather than hearing from a coder and an author like myself. I am a coder, because somebody asked me that. Yes, I code. I know exactly what's going on with my EAs and my robots because I made them, or I had somebody make them and I went over them and we tweaked it or whatever. But the bottom line is everything is in-house. So yes, that's a good source for software. But you know, when I was starting out, and I gotta just give you a quick little story, and then I'm gonna leave. When I was starting out, I told you I was in these groups getting indicators from the groups, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was getting fried. And I came to realize I was getting cooked because there was no knowledge of what to do with the indicator. I didn't know how to run it, how to set it up. Some indicators need set files, some don't. Some use specific settings, some don't. Some have certain time frames, some have certain peers that you need to trade them on. And honestly, as a person that's making software, I can honestly say all of that shit is nonsense, because I just said, why don't you just make the EA have a strategy and tell people what the strategy is or how to use it? But people try to hide their strategies when they make a software tool, so now you're just using it and you're at the mercy of the software getting cooked or winning. But the bottom line is, what happens when the conditions for that software are not met and you turn it on? You're not going to know that if you don't know the source of the software, so you're not going to know when to use it. Me, I tell people, hey, this is what I do with it. I make constant videos, I do updates, I show people this, because then you'll understand or get the grasp of when you should be using it. Like right now in the market, there's certain software you should be using because of the current conditions right now. It's very choppy. So for this kind of condition, there's certain softwares you use. Now, if you have a software that's doing trends and the market is choppy, guess what your software is going to be doing to you right now? It's going to be killing you. It's going to be cooking you. And that's why knowledge is the most important thing, and the skill is the most important thing. Now, if you got the skill, you understand, you might see some software that, hey, I use this strategy. This is going to make this trading easier for me. Let me use this. And then you're good. Then you're good. But it all comes down to what you're doing and how you're doing it. So at that point, it is what it is. And that's it. I'm going to end the video there. So we talked about funded accounts. Only if you know how to trade should you put credit on a funded account. Only then should you do that. You know, should you ever put credit in your bear account when you have funded accounts? Why? But honestly, with a bear account, you don't have to go through the process. And I'm gonna make a separate video about funded versus regular accounts too, because people need to understand that, and there's a warning in that. So I'm gonna make that video next. So if you see me in the same outfit, it's because I made all these videos together, because I'm gonna make 3 videos right now while I'm waiting on this guy to turn his card. Anyway, it's your boy Jimmy. I'm out of here. Peace. And I hope you guys enjoy the new year, and I hope 2023 is more successful than 2022 for everybody, including myself. Peace.